Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Unlock Show. I'm Tracy Wilson, and welcome to this glorious day. It is a Friday here on the Gold Coast of Australia, and I spent some time outside this morning on my I'm going to say on my patio. I won't say deck because this Aussie accent comes out a little bit wrong when you're trying to listen to it. But anyway, on the patio and on the balcony of my apartment this morning, I thought I'd go out there and do my team meeting because it was beautiful sunshine. But boy, I couldn't stay out there for very long because it was absolutely blazing. So I suspect that we are in for a very, very hot summer coming our way here in Australia. Anyway, enough of that, enough of the weather. I'll leave that to Scott Stevens, who is also part of our Metadime Digital group, and he does the weather show here right inside of the Success Secrets for Business, Family and Life every single day. And if you are not dialing in to listen to the weather with Scott, you absolutely should, because it's not only informative, but it's also extremely entertaining. So make sure that you get on and you start listening to that. Welcome to those of you who are also joining us from our Success Secrets Family, Business and Life group, which is on Facebook. We run a number of shows inside of there, like I've just mentioned. Scott Stevens, he has 2 shows every week. So he has the weather, and he also has a really brilliant show called Another Perspective, which is really eye-opening, certainly for somebody who's not based in America. I love watching his show, and it certainly does give you another perspective. And also Vicky Helm, who does her show, the Coffee Break Show, each and every single day. Vicky is on there talking about all things that you just want to sit down and have a nice cup of coffee with someone and talk about what's going on in the world. And she also shares lots of tips, strategies, etc. She's extremely informative also on her show. But if you're watching today, you're not here for them. Sorry, guys, but you're here to hear what I've got to say about this topic, which is why the success that you're actually, you're desiring feels like it's eluding you. You feel like you're kind of taking 10 steps forward and then crap, you're taking, 2 or 3 steps back, and you just feel like you just can't seem to break through. So what I wanted to talk about today, I thought about this particular topic because now that I'm this is like episode number 51, 50 shows I've already done. Today is episode number 51, and it's given me an opportunity, I suppose, to reflect on what I've been doing in the shows, what I've learned, but also, over my journey as an entrepreneur, some of the pivotal things, some of the things that have really made a massive difference to me. And today's show is one of those that I'm actually going to give you guys an activity today. And when I did this activity, it was like this massive, almost like mind-blowing, transformational thing happened. I had this massive, I want to swear right now because it was like that big, like that real, oh shit moment. I totally get it. So I want to help you guys kind of go through that journey, and hopefully you will also have that same level of transformation. You'll have that same level of, I understand, flaming heck, that's what's been holding me back kind of moment. So that's what I want to do for you today. So I want you guys to be prepared. After the show today, I'm going to make sure that I give you a giveaway. So you need to be, to get that giveaway, you need to be inside of the Success Secrets for Business, Family and Life group on Facebook. If you are watching this as a podcast, or you're or listening, I should say, or watching it on YouTube, get yourself over onto Facebook and grab this, because I guarantee you, if you're anything like me, it will be just as transformational for you as it was for me. And I absolutely mean that when I say that. So today I'm going to give you part 1. Next week, you're actually going to need to come back and watch part 2. So there will be some activity that you need to do. It won't take you a long time, but I can assure you that it is going to make a big difference to you. So let's get this, let's get this on the road. So let's firstly talk about, this. Most people believe that to get any real success in their life and in their business, that they just have to have the right strategy. Maybe they need to have the right mentor. They need to be doing the right activities, need to implement the right habits. And when they do all of these things, well, success will be inevitable. But the real truth is that even if you do all of these things, I hate to bring you bad news, guys, but even if you do all of these things, but you are operating out of alignment, the success that you desperately desire will continue to elude you. All right. So if you are operating out of alignment, the success, no matter what it is that you do, no matter what strategies you follow, that success will continue to elude you. So I'm going to share with you the thing that you need to get right, that when you layer on the strategies, the mentors, the activities, the habits, and all those other things on top of that, will actually provide you with that recipe for success. I'm sharing this with you because I mentioned to you earlier that when I got this, everything started to change. I went through, many years. You guys know that I've been doing this for, a number of years now. Also was successful in my previous life as a regional manager of a bank. But, in this entrepreneurial world, when we start to, we're on our own, particularly if you're starting out, you're on your own, you're trying to do everything yourself, you're trying to figure it all out. And often you're reaching out to external sources and forces to try and help you get what it is that you want and get you to the place that you need to be. And once you understand that it's actually something that you need to do for yourself, this thing that I'm talking about, which will get you into alignment, everything else will start to shift piece by piece. The matrix and the puzzle will start to come together, and all of a sudden you'll start to get momentum, you'll start to get success. And as you know, success breeds success, and you'll get, you'll start to really feel good and start to get some super momentum in your life. So when I think about this, when I did this activity for myself, I realized that when I did it, I was like, oh my gosh, right. So this is the issue that I've been facing. This is the real reason why I haven't been getting the success. So let's get stuck into this. The show mightn't today go for a whole 30 minutes because it's going to be more kind of like an activity and an action that you need to do. And like I said, next week when you come back, you need to have watched this show, do the activity, and then come back next week, because next week is where you're going to get, like, where you start to put all of the pieces together and you'll start to get the real aha moment. So this is going to help you get part of the way, but next week it's going to take you all of the way. So I promise that that's what we're going to do over these next 2 sessions. So here's what I want you to do. So you need to make sure that whenever you're creating yourself a business, or you're trying to get success in your life, you must make sure that you are in alignment with your values. Why do you need to do that? Well, you need to make sure that you're in alignment with your values, because otherwise, as you continue to do things in your business, you continue to add strategies, you continue to, do the tactics. If you are out of an alignment with your values, you probably won't do that for very long. Somewhere along the track, like, you'll be going along and then you'll kind of like, oh, the brakes will be put on. You'll feel like you've got massive resistance, and you'll probably start saying to yourself, oh my God, why the heck do I do this? Why do I keep kind of moving forward and I just can't quite break through? Why do I feel like I continually self-sabotage myself? This is like one of those, quiet, unknown saboteurs that kind of just come out of nowhere, or you feel like it's come out of nowhere, and it just takes the legs right out from under you. So the first step in this is actually to understand what is this unknown self-saboteur. And as I've said, it's like your values. So when you understand, the first piece of this puzzle is actually understanding what your values are. What is it that is of purpose to you? What is it that you prioritize? What do you value the most? I'm actually giving you guys a worksheet today. Like I said, it's going to be in the Success Secrets for Business, Family and Life group. Go there and get it. On the worksheet, it will have 100 values that I want you to have a look at, and I want you to pick 10 of them, and only 10 of them. I want you to go through the list, and if you kind of go through the list and you find, you know what, some of the values that I really hold dear to myself are not on this list, that's okay. Add them to the list for yourself. I want you to look at the list, and I want you to pick 10 of those values. Once you've got the 10 of those values that resonate the most with you, and don't procrastinate over it, don't even try to justify it in your mind, just look at the sheet, work your way through it, and feel which ones of them sit well with you, which ones resonate with you. Do not overthink this. And often, you know, that whole overthinking things also is one of those, you know, saboteurs that often kind of swipe us from the left when we're not looking. So just make sure that when you look at the sheet, that you're just picking ones that resonate with you. So what I want you to do is I want you to grab those and I want you to write them down, and I want you to get, I'm just going to see if I can look in my trusty drawer over here and grab a, you know, oh, here it is. I did get one ready. Grab yourself a Post-it note or a piece of paper, whichever, you know, whichever it is that you've got handy. But I want you to write down one of those values on an individual sheet of paper. So individual Post-it note or an individual sheet of paper. So by the time you've completed this next week, what I want you to do is come to next week's episode. So it'll be episode number 52 episode number 53 it will be, actually, because it will be next Friday. I want you to bring the list that I give you that's going to be inside of the Success Secrets for Business, Family and Life group. I want you to also come with your 10 values written down on an individual piece of paper. So individual Post-it note or individual piece of paper. And like I said, do not overthink this. Once you have done that, bring that with you to next week's session, because what we're going to do is we're going to help you to firstly identify what your values are, and then secondly, we're going to actually determine whether or not those values are actually serving you well in your business or in your life. Because what you might find is that the values that you actually hold dear to yourself are actually the things that are sabotaging you, are actually the things that are holding you back from achieving any real success. So this might be a massive aha moment. And one of the things that you want to think about, there's kind of two angles to come at this. One is often what we try and do from an external point of view is we go, well, what do we value? This is a normal exercise. What are my values? And then I'll go away and I start creating my business based on my values. Now, if you don't have a business, yes, of course, you might go ahead and do that. But for some of you, you've already got a business. You're already, you know, 3/4 of the way down the path, and you're just finding that you're not able to, you know, break through. You're not able to get that real true success where you feel good about everything that you're doing. You feel like you're in momentum. So what do you do then? What do you do then when you realize that, crap, my values and the business that I've created, they actually don't align, and therefore I've got a problem? Well, what do? Is you start to realign your values. And I'm going to teach you how to realign those values so that you actually get them in alignment so that you can have success in your business. You can have success in your life. You can have success with your family. So guys, like I said, this is, it may sound really simplistic in its form and what I'm explaining for you to do today, but believe me, this particular activity that I'm going to get you to do, and if you take me up on this offer, is transformational. And I kid you not, it will do that. It will be like an oh crap moment for you. Or you're going to go, hey, that's really cool. I'm totally in alignment, and you know, everything's honky dory for me and I don't really need to worry about it. So I wanted to share this with you today because, like I said, I know that this was the thing that really, really made a difference to me. As soon as I did this, and as soon as I realigned my values, as soon as I understood the values that I actually had were not serving me well, were not in alignment with what it is that I wanted to actually do and achieve, poof, things really started to happen. Things started to get momentum. My bank account started to increase. I started feeling better about what I was doing. Rah. So if you want to do all of those things, then I would highly recommend that you actually take this activity and you do it. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about today was like 51 episodes in. So I'm currently at, so that's the activity that I want you to do. So 51 shows in. I want to share this with you because, again, this is a pivotal thing. When I think back to me starting this show, and, you know, if I think back sort of 3 or 4 years ago, I probably would have been very afraid. Even 20 years ago, you know, starting out in my career, would I've ever thought that I would be on a show, confident about what it is that I'm talking about, sharing my message with people all over the world? The answer is heck no. There's no way. I would have been absolutely crapping myself to do that. In fact, when I used to be at work and it used to be my turn, how you'd have to get up and you'd have to speak and you'd have to talk about something that the boss was, wanted your opinion on. As soon as it went round the table and it was getting to me, about 3 people out, I would be like sweaty palmed, almost hyperventilating, trying to think, what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? What are people going to think? All of that sort of stuff. And now, however many years later, here I am speaking to all of you guys, having people dial into the show, on a regular basis. Now, why do I share that with you? I share that with you because you have to start somewhere. There are some of you guys that are out there thinking, boy, I want my life to be a little bit different. I want my business to be different. I want the people around me to be different. I want different people on my, I want amazing people on my team, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is that you are thinking, it is possible for you to do. And if you just take it one foot in front of the other, you can have all of this. And all of it starts, the thing that I've heard, if you go back and you listen to particularly all the shows that I've done where I've had a guest on board, a lot of them have talked about working on yourself internally first. Like all of them have somewhere throughout their interview, that theme is threaded throughout. So if you are not working on your inner game right now, I would highly recommend that is a place that you start working on you. You start believing in you. You start banking on you. You start to work on all the things that you want to have and the way that you want to wake up and you want to feel every single day. Because if you come at it from that place, you will start to slowly but surely, you will start to build the life and the business that you really desire and that you dream about. I can promise you that will happen. And that all starts with like loving yourself, working on yourself on the inside. Stop beating yourself up. Stop all that self-negative chatter in your head and just getting on and getting it done. And just don't be afraid to stuff up. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and not say the right thing or do the right thing. It's okay. Start somewhere. And before long, like this, you'll be 50 episodes in and, and not really worrying about it. I can pretty much come up with a topic in the morning and off I go. I can talk about it. So, and you will do exactly the same once you've done it over and over and over again. And if it's confidence that you're lacking, confidence comes from your competence. So the more and more you do something, the more and more you practice, you will improve your level of competence. And when you improve your level of competence, your level of confidence will also go up. So I'm going to leave you guys. I'm going to do a little bit of a shorter show today, but I think those two things are extremely important and pivotal in your ongoing success. And I want you guys to do particularly the activity around your values. Like I cannot stress this enough. Do that activity. Meet me back here on the same channel next week. And like I said, if you're on the podcast, head on over to the Success Secrets for Business, Family and Life, or I'll be really kind and I'll put the link to the document beneath in the show notes so that you can actually download it, because this is a really important topic. Do that activity. Come back here next week, because I'm going to take you on the next piece of this journey to help you to align your values and to help you to understand what it is that you need to do to make sure that you can maintain integrity, maintain congruency with your values, and ensure that you can have this ongoing success, in your business and in your life. So that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap it up today. I'm going to say have a fantastic weekend. I am hoping that the sun will continue to shine here and I can actually get outside and spend some time on the ocean over the weekend. And I'll see you guys back here for another episode of Unlock next week. I have a very special, I've actually got some really awesome guests coming to join me in November. So just keep your eyes peeled for who they are. I'm pretty excited about all of them. So join me on Wednesdays when I have my Wednesday guest. And then on Fridays, we usually do an activity, or I'll give you some sort of tool, resource, takeaway and I will do my solo show on a Friday. So thanks very much for joining me. Like I always say, I want you guys to continue to live your life unlocked. Why? Because by now you should realize that there is just no other way. See you guys. Have a fantastic weekend. See you next week. Bye.